Hey, in today's video, we're gonna make this smooth SaaS animation inside After Effects. So let's get started. So first thing, we're gonna need to download the SVG file of the Apple Books, which is this one. In fact, I've already downloaded this, and here is it. I'm gonna create a new composition. I'll go ahead and create a new solid for the background. And I'm gonna choose this color. Rename these to BG for background. Hit OK. And I'm gonna lock this background. And I'm going to import the SVG file inside the timeline, and you might see this kind of weird thing, but don't worry, we're gonna fix this. Right click and create shapes from a vector layer. So once you click that, you'll have this, and you can delete the SVG layer. Delete that and hold down Control and double click on this pan behind tool to center the anchor point to the center. And I'm going to align the layer to the center of the comp and hit S to bring up the scale, and I'm gonna scale this down to 35. Rename this logo, and I'll just collapse this and go inside contents. You can see you have two groups, and one is the book and the other one is the background. Okay, so since we are scaling the background in the x-axis, we're going to not use this group 2 because it is a path layer, so we're gonna have some problem while scaling the background in the x-axis. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna select on the shape layer and I'm gonna draw a rectangle. Okay, so I'm trying to draw a rectangle same to this size. So you can just rename this BG for background, and I'm just going to put this just above the group 2. I mean just below the group 2, and I can just go here, go to rectangle path and increase these rounded corners so that it match the background layer here. Okay, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to select the color fill, and I'm going to pick the color of the original color. Hit OK, and I can delete the group 2, and there you have it. And you can just go inside group 1 and just rename this to book. Okay, we're just gonna use this one. Okay, so that's the logo setup, and once you're done, you can duplicate this, Control D, and I'm going to shut off the eye for the previous one. All right, let's create a text. Okay, and I'm going to just change the color to black and center it to the comp, and I'm going to scale it to 80, center it to the comp, and I'm going to use SF Pro font with black. So we're going to set up the bounce text animation right now, and we're going to build it once and we're going to use it multiple times. Okay, so it's going to be very easy. Let's go and click on this animate. I'm going to select on the position, and I'm going to select the position to -50 so it comes from the top and drops in like that. Okay, and I'm also going to add an opacity, and I'm going to set this to 0, and nothing is visible here, and we're going to add an expression to this. Okay, so selector and go to expression and just collapse this, and we're going to animate based on the words. Okay, and we're going to select this amount and we're going to apply an expression, which is the text bounce expression, which I will also include in the video description and in the comment section. How you're going to do is that you're going to hold down Alt and click on this amount, and we're going to paste it. But I have a tool, which is an Expression Kit Pro, which by the way is available on my Patreon, and you can check that out. The link will be there in the description down below. So I'm going to select this text bounce expression and select on the amount, and I'm going to apply that, and it's going to apply that very easily. So once you play it back, you see that you have that animation. Okay, so once you're done with that, I'm just going to animate, and I'm just going to add another position which comes inside Animator 2, which is really nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrub through the timeline and find maybe somewhere around here, set a keyframe for the position, and I'm going to hold down Shift, page down once, and without page down 1 2 3 4 5, and I'm going to set a keyframe here, and I'm going to go to the left here. Okay, that's nice. I'm also going to select these keyframes, and I'm also going to apply this overshoot expression, which is inside my Expression Kit Pro. So once you're there, just select first keyframe, hit F9 for easy ease. I'm going to duplicate this text, Control D to duplicate it. I'm going to hit U, or I'm just going to collapse the text, and I'm going to delete the animator 2 because we don't need it. We're going to move it here, and I'll just rename this to book, okay? Mid book. And we're going to change the thickness to maybe medium. So what we're going to do is we're going to animate this shape of this when the text slides to the left, okay? Hit U to reveal the keyframes. So up until here, I'm just going to collapse this logo too, go to the transform, and I'm just going to set a position keyframe. And we're going to do is here. Okay, so we're going to set another keyframe. If you have made this far, I want to also tell you that I've also made a course on a talking head video and some smooth UI animation combined, how to edit a reel from start to finish. That is available to my Motion Pro members on my Patreon. Make sure to check that out as well, and the link in the description down below. All right, so let's get back to the tutorial here. Okay, so we're going to set another keyframe, and at the first keyframe, we're going to move this to the left somewhere here. Okay, so it comes like this. So I'm going to apply the same overshoot expression like that. By the way, this is available inside this expression is available inside my Expression Kit Pro, but I will also include this expression in the video description and in the pinned comment section. You can just copy and paste it in the position information. Okay, that's how you can do that. Or if you want to work faster, you can just grab the Expression Kit Pro from my Patreon, and that's also the way you can support what I do. I would really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to select the first keyframe, hit F9 for easy ease. Okay, that's nice, but the problem is I want the animation of this text to slide in from the right side, okay? So the way you can change that is just go inside the text, go to Animator 1, and I want to set the Y values to 0. So remember, this is the X and this is the Y, okay? So the Y is the vertical values and the X is the horizontal values. So hit 50 on the X-axis, so it comes from the left, okay? Go inside contents. Let's go inside background, go inside rectangle path. At this timing, when it slides to the left, I will start this size animation, move this to the last keyframe, which is here, and come back to the first keyframe. I'm going to set the size to 0. Select all the keyframes. I'm going to apply the overshoot expression once again. And I will also animate the opacity of the book. Okay, so go inside this group and go to transform and set it on opacity here 100. Move it to the last keyframe, and the first should be 0. Okay, and that's really very straightforward and easy, right? So okay, that's really nice. And right after that, I want this to morph. Okay, so I'm gonna move the logo on top of all the text, and I'm just going to collapse this, go inside contents. I'm going to scale up the background, so I'm going inside this and set a size keyframe for the background, and I'm going to unlock this constraint proportion now, and maybe I'm going shift page down once, and without holding shift, I'm going to hit page down 1 2 3 4 5 times. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to scale this up, maybe up until here. And what I will also going to do is I'm going to select this first keyframe, hit F9 for easy ease, and let's just see what we have. Okay, that's really nice. And maybe I think I need to be a little bit faster, right? So I'm just going to place the time indicator at this keyframe, hold down shift and page down once, and I'm going to bring back this keyframe towards this, and we have a faster animation. Okay, that's great. And one more thing we need to do is we need to change the color from orange to white. Okay, so at this point, let's just go to the fill, just select this color and set a keyframe, and go to the last keyframe, which is this, and we're going to change the color to white. And we're also going to animate the book opacity just to be safe here. So from 100 to a 0 because we don't need that anymore, right? All right, so once you have that, you can just bring back the first logo that we have duplicated. You can just turn it on, move this above all the layers, and we're gonna hit S, and we're gonna scale it down to 25. I'm gonna move it here. So right from here, I will just animate the position inside the transform. Set a keyframe for the position. Maybe right here, I want to reveal the logo. I'm just going back, shift page up one time, and maybe I'm going down, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to select all the keyframes. I'm going to apply the overshoot expression. Okay, right now you can see it's still visible. I'm just going to trim this to here. Hold on Alt and the left square bracket. This has to be masked inside this shape, right? So the easiest way to do is just go to toggle switches, and you can just find these track matte options, equip it to the logo 2, and make sure you turn that logo 2 on again. So it will be inside that, okay? So right after that, we want some animation. So I'm gonna duplicate this book, move it up, and I'll just rename this to Apple Book, okay? And I'm just going to change the position here and change the size. Yep, maybe like that. And let's just go inside this, and I want the animation to start from here. So it's coming from the right side, so I'm going to change that. Let's go inside text, go to animator 1, and I'm going to 0 the x values, and I want this to be a -50, which is going to be the top. Okay, it's going to fall down. Okay, that's really nice. I'm going to duplicate this and just move it down in app purchase. Okay, you can just select, change this to light, and you can just lower the text size. All right, so once you have that, we're going to create a rectangle shape again here, somewhere around here. Okay, I'm going to change this to this gray, and control and double click on this pen behind tool to center it to the center of the shape. And let's go inside rectangle path, and make this, increase the roundness so that you have rounded edges. And I think we're gonna unlock this and maybe shrink it down a little bit. And one more thing I would do is I would create a text. I'm just going to write open, okay, and move it here, size it down, and I'm going to change this to blue, and select both these shapes and align it to the center. And you can just pre-compose this, Control Shift and C, and just rename this open button, okay, and hit P on the keyboard, and we're gonna animate it from this. So I'm just going Shift page down once, set a keyframe for the position here, and go back to the first, and we're gonna move this down here. Okay, select all the keyframes, and I'm gonna apply the overshoot. Hit OK. You can see that it's coming out of this shape, so I'm gonna track matte this to the logo number 2. So, and I hope you learned something from this tutorial. Make sure to check out my Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.